What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my beautiful co-hosts, JL and Josh. I almost insulted you again and then changed the adjective. What's up, guys?
What up? Beautiful. Hanging in there. Let's go.
Yeah. Guys, you may notice a draft word up there. It's Wednesday. Usually that's only on Monday, but today we are mock drafting. It is Wamock Draft Wednesday is what we are doing today.
Wamock Draft.
Wamock Draft.
We made it W's.
I made it W's.
Good.
I get it because of Wednesday instead of Monday. Pretty good right there.
Good
Guys, before we get started with our show today, a couple reminders. Number one, if you're not already following us on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you like this video. It is the number one easiest way to show your support for what we're doing over here. Then after that, check out our TikTok at Front Yard FYF. There may be some new exciting types of videos coming your way in the coming days. So make sure you guys are subscribed over there. Josh, we got some people in the chat ready for today's show and a question to kick us off. It has some IDP in it, but I think we can. I think we might be able to
started reading this. I haven't had time to process it yet. I'm still processing, but yeah, go ahead and read it.
Yeah. So Craig's in here said, "Hello, friends. Trade question for you. 14-team, 1 QB IDP league. He has Tua and Zach Wilson. Just traded Trey Lance, the 202, and Devin White for the 23 first and 24 first of the team that earned the 2022 101. Thoughts? So 2 firsts for Trey Lance in a 1 quarterback league, the 202 and Devin White.
It's a 1 quarterback league. Holy
it's a 1
crap.
QB league.
I'm sitting here thinking it's a Superflex league. I'm like, Craig, you screwed up, man. Like, this is not enough for Trey Lance in a Superflex league, but 1 quarterback league, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you have a lot of faith in Tua and Zach Wilson, I guess, then this is a fine trade because if Tua does hit his ceiling, which he obviously can, I mean, the Dolphins are surrounding with weapons, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, he's already got good pass catching running backs. If Tua hits that ceiling and he's better Trey Lance this upcoming year, I think that's a great trade for you, actually, getting that 2023 first and 2024 first of a team that's not very good, as you're saying there. So I like it.
The piece I'm missing here is, like, I know Devin White is one of the most valuable dynasty IDP players. I know he's in that like top 5 as far as like players that you want on your team from an IDP perspective. I don't know what that means when it comes to draft picks. I don't play in enough IDP leagues to know, does that equal more than a first? Which it looks like it does based on the trade that you just made. But overall, like, without that piece of knowledge, I love this move. You could afford to move on from Trey Lance. You get 2 firsts, trading a second. So I like it, but again, we are not IDP experts. We got Alex in the chat.
What's Alex in the chat?
What up, Alex? He said, "What is up, all you beautiful boys and girls?" And Josh, it's because you're a beautiful man. Josh.
I'm an armadillo. I literally just thought of that. Yeah, I was like, what's not a boy or a girl?
Armadillo. I had such a good idea for you, Alex, by the way. I'm going to message you.
Message it to him. Mr. Scampers, what's up? Welcome and glad to have you in here.
Scampers.
Dustin likes your trade, Craig. What's up, Dustin? Good afternoon to Albert. Glad to have you in here. And Z2 said, dang, was hoping to snipe Simon today. I moved from that 2 spot to the 5 spot, and I will be drafting as Front Yard FYF today. So if you see me in there, Front Yard FYF is me drafting. Albert said Baker. So we got some news about Baker to the Panthers.
Yes, we did.
Let you guys go first. Josh, we'll start with you. What do you think about Baker to the Panthers?
Classic, the Browns, giving him away for nothing. I think that it's good that they got something for him, right?
What was the deals? What was the details of the deals?
Conditional 2023 pick, I believe. It might have been 2024, but it's conditional. So depending on, I'm assuming how much Baker plays, how well he plays, et cetera, that pick could be pretty decent to relatively nothing. But they weren't keeping Baker Mayfield throughout the year. There's a lot of bad blood between the team and Baker Mayfield. He wasn't going to play there. So they got something for him. Good for the Browns. They're paying $10.5 million of his contract still, which is so Browns.
Browns.
They're just a crap show right now. I won't curse. But Baker going to, it's a good opportunity for Baker. It improves the team. I'm more excited for them now going forward.
Yeah. And as far as places he could have landed, like from the teams that they were talking about, I think this is a fairly good landing spot. He's got CMC there as like a safety blanket, right? Like that you couldn't ask for a better safety blanket for a quarterback. He's got DJ Moore out there. He's so warm. I'm in the offensive
warmer
line
in Carolina than Ohio.
Oh, way warmer.
Yeah.
It should be a better offensive line for the Panthers this year, but we'll see. So
what does this do for DJ Moore then? Let me ask you guys that.
Moves him up a
Thumbs
little
up.
bit. Yeah, thumbs up. He's going to move up a couple spots for me.
Yeah, no doubt. It doesn't make him like a wide receiver 1 all of a sudden, but he's very safe wide receiver 2. Like I've been saying for a while now, I think Baker's an above average quarterback. So the situation's still not amazing, but plus for DJ Moore, I think he's the biggest beneficiary from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably move him up to like ahead of like Marquise Brown, Jerry Jeudy, Brandon Cooks, that range where previously he was behind those guys for
That's
me.
a good
and
range.
That's about where I'm moving DJ Moore up to.
I can't wait to do my projections.
Oh, it's fun. Terrace Marshall, no love for Terrace Marshall. I'm fully out. You can drop him in Dynasty.
Not deep
Disagree.
Dynasty leagues. I'm still willing to take a shot on him. Like, it depends how deep your Dynasty league is, right? How many people are actually on the waiver wire. Let's see what he does. You know, he had some injuries he was dealing with last season. I'm not expecting a lot for this.
Let's see where he gets drafted in our Superflex Dynasty Mock Draft today.
If he gets drafted in 12 rounds.
If he gets drafted. Z2 saying Walk Raft Wednesday to answer Scott.
Wednesday.
Why are we doing a mock draft on a Wednesday? Scott, it's obvious. It's Walk Raft Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Skipper says, I get it. I quit, but I get it. And Jordan has another way you could do it. Mock draft Monday.
I feel like people might get confused that like what day is
today?
That?
It's Monday. Yeah.
I like Nolan's better. Dynasty Wooperflex Walk Waft Wednesday.
Wooperflex.
Perfect. Wooperflex. That's
Wooperflex.
No, that is
and Alex said, one QB. Yeah, it changes the trade quite a bit earlier that we were talking about right there.
Yeah.
Also, Scott came in with conditional 2024 fifth. And Z2, so does Simon like DJ Moore, Mike Evans, but it's Mike Evans. It's Mike Evans. It's Mike Evans and Mike Evans. You could put DJ Moore on the Buccaneers with Tom Brady, and it's still Mike Evans. I like DJ Moore, but don't get it twisted right there. And Jay wants to know, does DJ Moore get more than 4 TDs? Probably not.
I'll say yes.
I'll say yes too. I'll take the over.
I'll say yes just because he's a really good receiver with an improved. Maybe he's the best quarterback he's ever played with. Maybe. I'm willing to say it. I'm going to say it. Best quarterback he's ever played with.
Josh said DJ Moore probably 7. That's doable. And said do not drop Terrace Marshall from Jay. That's okay.
I'll go with 6.
I'll take the over 4, but I'm not going 7. Let's put it that way.
What about 6, Josh? Taking the over?
I take the under. I feel more comfortable with the line being set at 5.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Yeah, I would not take a water bet on that. He's been so consistent with the 4 touchdowns. I have a hard time betting against it. Guys, let's go ahead and get this mock draft started for today. Everybody watching, this is a Superflex Dynasty Superflex Dynasty Mock Draft. So the roster construction for this league is going to be 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 flex, and 1 super flex. So for those of you that don't know what super flex is, that's just an additional flex spot where you can also play a quarterback. Quarterbacks generally score the most points in fantasy, so it's in your best interest to likely start 2 quarterbacks as often as possible. So the value of quarterbacks goes way up in a format like this. I'm drafting from the 5 spot. Josh is drafting from the 9 spot, and JL's going to be judging us vocally.
One right now, guys. I don't know if you just want to run with that, but this is just kind of a copy and paste from the Scott Fishbowl mocks we were doing. We could just run with it if you guys want, but
do you want to do 3rd round reversal, or do you want to switch it, JL?
Let's keep it.
Thank you, Jordan, for letting us know. We did not realize that.
We're doing 3rd round reversal because that's what the cool kids do. And David here with facts. Simon has the best team. Yeah, it's incredible right now. It's just truly incredible.
All right, you guys ready to get started?
Let's do it. Let's start it, and then let's talk about this from Albert.
Okay.
6. There's safety with
Z2, you are
DJ
up.
Moore, but wow, I couldn't do wide receiver 6. Maybe for Dynasty.
I would not do it, but I don't hate it. Like it's in the range of outcomes in that offense. But no way.
Baker's good. Baker's not a bad quarterback.
No, he's an above average quarterback. Not phenomenally above average, but like comparable to like a Derek Carr, I think. You know what I mean? Like an above average quarterback.
I think he's better than
They
Derek
don't
Carr.
play the same, but like talent wise.
I'm going to take Derek Carr over him, guys, still. But
Baker.
I think Derek Carr is a sufficiently above average quarterback. Again, it's hard to put like really good or great on either one of these guys. But I think Derek Carr, he's proven a little bit more to me.
All right, Simon, you are on the clock. We had Herbert, then Allen, then Mahomes taken off the board, which is fairly typical, what we're seeing in Superflex.
I know what I want to do here. It's either Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, but every day I flip them back and forth in my dynasty rankings. Justin Jefferson is the one that I think should be dynasty wide receiver 1, but I like Jamar Chase more. I just think he's exciting. So I'm going to
feels like Justin Jefferson is safer, but Jamar Chase has more upside.
Yeah.
Which is weird when we're like talking about these two like locked and loaded 1 and 2 guys, but that's kind of how I think about it.
Simon taking Jamar Chase, followed by Lamar Jackson and Marco in here. What up, Marco? Saying any debate between Mahomes and Herbert. And I don't know if there's going to be debate between the three of us. Maybe, perhaps. I'm going to go Mahomes on this one.
It's like a small debate. It's like we're all going to agree that they're in the same tier, but we would. I'm sure we ordered them a little bit differently.
Yeah,
it goes Allen, Herbert, Mahomes for me. But they're all super close. Herbert's got his same weapons coming back. That offense is going to look largely similar, and he was incredible last year. We know they like to throw the ball. Tyreek Hill makes that slightest tiebreaker between Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert for me, so I'll take Herbert above him.
That's fair.
Oh, Josh, you got the other one. Oh, I'm so jealous, Josh.
I'm with you. Yeah, I got Justin Jefferson. I got to wait a few more picks from you, Simon, but I had the same order as Simon for the top 3. But if you wanted to take Patrick Mahomes first above Josh Allen, it would not bother me in the slightest. Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, but we're nitpicking. Yeah, they're all great quarterbacks to have it.
They are. Alex saying Heath and DJ sitting in a tree.
So did he just like announce that today? Because I didn't hear about that, but the person that came in and presented that information. Like I wonder where DJ Moore was prior to Baker Mayfield going to Cleveland. Was he still very high? I'm assuming he had to be.
Yeah, that is actually a really good question. Let's get Heath on. Let's get him to crash the show.
Yeah, that's what we need. Someone call Heath.
I'm sure he would. If he's not doing anything right now, I'm sure he would come on to explain his DJ Moore love.
The funny thing is, he's been on our show what 2 or 3 times now, so it's not that crazy.
We got Mark saying, here's a good one. DJ Moore, Deontay. Oh my gosh. Deontay Johnson, Michael Pittman, Tyreek Hill. How are you ranking them?
And he said in Dynasty for the record is what Mark said.
In Dynasty, okay. Simon, you got a ranking or Josh?
I would have to bring up some rankings real fast if you give me a minute.
Of course. Simon, do you have an initial ranking?
Initial ranking, it probably goes DJ Moore, Tyreek Hill, Pittman, Deontay, and they are very much in the same tier.
These guys are close to me. I would go Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Deontay, Pittman. That's it. That's the all of them.
Tyreek Hill and DJ Moore is the close one for me, kind of splitting those two. Pittman third, Deontay.
How old is Tyreek Hill? He can't be that old. 27?
1 million.
He's 27, probably going on 28 if I had to guess. He's probably 28 now.
He's 28.
March 1st, 1994. 28 crew. 94 club.
I probably, when it comes down to, I'm not drafting Tyreek Hill, but if I made dynasty rankings, if I had them available to me, which mine are a little outdated at the moment, I would have Tyreek Hill probably just above. I would have DJ Moore first, then Tyreek Hill, then Pittman, then Deontay, but they're very close, and it's kind of scary.
Me and Josh with
you're on the clock, Josh.
We have the same ones.
Yeah,
same ones.
All right, cool.
And come here now saying Jalen Hurts over Herbert. Disagree
as well. I like Jalen Hurts for fantasy this year.
Josh on
that's
the
not
clock.
a bold thing to say. That's a pretty
so on the clock right now. It's like crazy.
C2 asking Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, Baker. How would you rank them?
It depends. How are we ranking them? Dynasty, this one's pretty easy. It goes Baker, Kirk, Matt. In my mind,
yeah.
If it's redraft, probably Kirk. Maybe the order that Kirk, Baker, Matt Ryan's being slept on this year, I feel like, but that is a rush first offense. Kirk probably first, just pure safety for those guys, and then take your pick of Matt Ryan, Baker Mayfield. I don't know, Kirk, and then 2A, 2B, Matt Ryan, Baker Mayfield. I'm just going to lump them together. I
mostly agree with you. I think I would take him that order.
Well, yeah, I think Simon summed it up pretty well.
Disagree on stuff, guys.
For redraft, it's in that order though.
Yeah,
I'm still not taking Baker Mayfield ahead of either of those guys.
Yeah, he's a good late round prospect. Just see how he does. Yeah. Maybe he gets in there and he just goes off. Tim saying smash the like, and Simon will draft Justin Tucker with his second pick. Simon,
oh God,
do it?
This is.
We need 100 likes before he makes his pick. Oh, too late.
As soon as we get to 100 likes, Simon will draft Justin Tucker. Let's say that.
Yeah.
A positive for Baker Mayfield is the Browns offense. They were a run first offense, and they were always going to be a run first offense. They're going to continue to be one. The Panthers, on the other hand, they're probably going to let Baker air it up a little bit more, which is helpful for fantasy football at the very least. So maybe we do see a season where Baker Mayfield just has his best year yet.
Yeah. We could absolutely see it. I'm very interested to see how this injury has progressed. If he's feeling better from it, that's what I'm monitoring going into the situation. Their offensive line isn't vastly improved, and so he's going to stop to deal with that this season. Josh, you took DeAndre Swift with your second pick. Justin Jefferson followed by DeAndre Swift, the second running back off the board.
Yeah.
Tell me about this. This feels different than usual. I know you've been going a little higher on Swift.
Yeah, I don't have a quarterback right now, which is a little scary, but I didn't love the quarterbacks that were sitting there at my pick. So who I love the most was simply DeAndre Swift for a dynasty league. I love his age. I love his pass catching ability. I love him for next season. And he's still a young guy. I actually have him ranked above Najee Harris, Javonte Williams. I have Christian McCaffrey ranked above all those guys, but I'm excited. For my start. Well, I forgot about the third round reversal.
Yeah, me too.
It doesn't hurt you too much, Simon.
It's going to ruin my life.
2 picks.
It's way out. 2 picks, I think. 1 or 2.
It's going to be the person I want just gone. Mm-hmm. This is the worst day of my life.
I have a feeling I could guess who you want, but I won't say anything. Should I draft him?
Sure.
Do it. You can.
It's Darnell Mooney in the third round is who I want.
Oh, that actually checks out.
Don't fall for it, Josh. I made that mistake on Sunday. I hated it.
You did. He tried to snipe me by taking Darnell Mooney, and it was not my upcoming pick.
I gotta say, this full minute timer compared to the 30-second timer, heaven.
Oh, it's nice.
Totally nice.
It's amazing how cutting it in half just sends you from like fully relaxed to absolute full panic every time. Like
every single time. Scott saying Kirk will have a better year this year than any season Baker or Matt will have for the rest of their careers. That's pretty spicy. I
mean, I think he's definitely going to be better than Baker and Matt this year, for sure. Matt doesn't have very many years left in his career, so that's a fairly safe bet. And we haven't even seen Baker play a single down with the team that he's on. Like, this isn't a horribly horrendous take for a quarterback that's shown us he can be a top 10 guy. Like, it's reasonable.
It's anti-Baker,
I'll still take Baker. Like in a dynasty league, I think.
Yeah. We had Eckler, Waddle, and then Lawrence coming off the board here in this third round, beginning of this third round reversal.
You damn duck.
I am torn between a few guys. Is that who you wanted, Simon? Yeah, I was hoping Lawrence.
You were hoping for Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah. I like a lot of guys here, guys. There's like 4 guys I really want here.
We got 9 seconds to decide.
And Mr. Scammer says, I know exactly who Simon wants because I got cussed out on the stream.
All right. Take AJ Brown here.
AJ Brown. I love that pick. Oh my God. I love that pick, Josh.
I love your love for it. I love AJ Brown as a talent, you know, a little bit. I want to see how he plays with Jalen Hurts and this offense that does project to run a lot more than it passes, but that's kind of more or less what he dealt with the Tennessee Titans. They wanted to run the ball, and he was still very good.
Yeah.
He's going to have to be efficient. I'll tell you that much. And AJ Brown, if anyone out there can be efficient, it's him.
Yeah. Josh, me and you both playing the no quarterback game in this Superflex league. So
we're the only two. Oh, no. We'll see. We'll see what Twin has.
We'll see what Twin does. If he wants to be part of the cool kid club or join all those other losers with quarterbacks.
So taking a step back and just looking at strategy here, you guys are taking this punt of the quarterback, or at least waiting on quarterback in the first 2 rounds. How are you thinking about your strategy when you make this decision in the first couple rounds?
I'm one, especially on the turn here. I messed up last time because I thought it was going to turn around. I was looking at the teams ahead of me, and only Twin didn't have a quarterback. Made me feel a little bit better that at least one of the group of guys was going to get back to me. Then the other thing is, if I'm drafting for value, which I feel like I did here, Diggs down there in the middle of the second, the quarterbacks were pushing him down. Kelsey in the third, pushed down by more quarterbacks. I'm making up for that fall off in quarterback with the strength at my other positions. Like, I'll take my top 2 wide receivers over anybody else's in this league. Josh, you're close with Justin Jefferson and AJ Brown, but I'm still taking Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, in a dynasty league, I would have AJ Brown and Stephon Diggs relatively close, but for this upcoming season, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are pretty close, and Stephon Diggs, I do project him to have a much better season than AJ Brown. So yeah, I like that. And then you got Travis Kelce, who, you know, he's a little bit older, but he's gonna have a fantastic season. So I like how you're building your team. You're set up for instant success, and then if you could build, you know, around some maybe aging quarterbacks, you could really win that championship year 1, maybe pretty easily.
That's a great point, Josh. But
Like
it looks
that.
like me, you, and Twin will be competing for some of those maybe late round values at quarterback. And Jordan said Simon will take his 2 wide receivers versus any other team in the league that only has 1 wide receiver. Hell, they can add 2 more at this point. I've seen the other names available, and I'll still take mine.
Yeah, I'm the only one with 2 other wide receivers.
Oh, wait, but T. Higgins plus Deontay Johnson, that might get me to change my mind. Maybe then I'd want them.
Oh, that would be nice. Mark saying Kirk greater than Tanny / Baker greater than Ryan in Dynasty for him. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah, in Dynasty, I'm completely fine. Matt Ryan is getting up there, and he in my opinion, he's not getting any better. He's going to be in a good, maybe the best situation he's been in a long, long time with the Colts this upcoming season. But they're going to want to run the ball more than Matt Ryan's used to. So I'm not projecting a ton of fantasy success for Matt Ryan. I think he'll be efficient. I think he'll be good for the Colts as a team. But fantasy-wise, I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Come on.
There goes Tyreek Hill in the 4th round, 3rd pick of the 4th round. Simon, you are on deck.
Do it, Twin. And
Twin,
I'm just
take a look at that picture too.
Pick.
Alvin Kamara. Oh, the quad running back.
Holy
crap,
Twin. All right. I see you.
DJ Moore.
Ooh, DJ Moore was his guy. Simon always wanted him.
He loves DJ Moore.
Now he's got Baker.
And I feel a little bit better drafting him now with a real quarterback in the room. Sorry,
I like
Sam.
how you threw that Deontay Johnson love. You're like, yeah, Deontay Johnson would be a great pick here.
Oh, I was just the first wide receiver that jumped out at me. I was making the point that Jamar Chase and Stephon Diggs is greater than any of the teams with 1 wide receiver plus any of the other wide receivers available.
Yeah.
And Twin said, I don't want all these RBs.
I don't want all
drafted them, bro.
You had you had the control.
You're giving me the value. Luckily, Twin, this is a 2 running back, 2 flex league, so you can start all 4 of these guys every single week.
You better. You drafted them in the first 4 rounds. Travis Etienne.
I love that pick by Craig. That was if I was going to take an RB there, that was the guy I was likely going to take.
Followed by Drake London. Simon, you took Stephon Diggs here in the 2nd round. Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill are the same age. Fun fact. Stephon Diggs is a little older. I know we were talking about Tyreek Hill a short while ago. Does the age not come into play with Stephon Diggs for you as much?
No. I mean, how old is he? What, 27, 28?
28.
Same age as us. I play Dynasty in a 2 to 3 year window, and he's tied to Josh Allen for that time. I haven't seen any signs of him slowing down at 28, so doesn't really come into play there.
The difference between the two is obviously Tyreek Hill's moving situations. Like he's been playing the last 4 years with Patrick Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Now he goes to Tua Tagovailoa. Is he even the number 1 wide receiver? I think he is. But Jalen Waddle was drafted ahead of him in this Dynasty League. I know he's a lot younger, but they're both going to command targets. And can Tua support 2 top 10 wide receivers? I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Josh, if he couldn't, his name would be Wana, not Tua.
Oh God, that was so bad.
That was great, Simon. Don't let him tell you otherwise.
Thanks, JL.
Rudy Duck, Nick Chubbs, and Justin Fields by Josh.
Yeah. So just back to Tyreek Hill. That's 100% what it is for me. Like the separation between him and Stephon Diggs. It's he's just with the same offense. Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I think that's a good distinction to make.
Yeah.
Do you remember the guy that we met in Vegas, JL, that put like $4,000 on Justin Fields MVP for this upcoming season?
Yeah.
And he was like, I know it's not likely, but the numbers were great. The odds were so good. Like, doesn't matter how good the odds are if it's not going to happen. You still just burned $4,000, lit it on fire.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, your team has to be good to win MVP. You're not going to win MVP. If you could have an amazing season, if the Bears have a losing record, he's not winning MVP. It just won't happen. It just doesn't happen like that.
And it's not that he doesn't have
good teams.
You throw Justin Fields on a really good team, like maybe he's got the raw skill set that if he could piece it together, the rushing upside, like he could absolutely put together a season like that, but it's not happening on the Bears.
Yeah. Twin saying I like that value there for Fields. Josh.
Me too.
That is good value. That is good value when Trevor Lawrence went a full round almost ahead.
Yeah, more than a full round ahead.
More.
Yeah, a pick extra. But Justin Fields, he does have as much upside as any quarterback you're going to find in this territory because of his rushing ability. Last year, we all know that the Matt Nagy offense wasn't great. They didn't set up runs for Justin Fields. Almost all of his runs were just impromptu running. Sure. Nothing was set up. And I fully expect Justin Fields is going to have runs designed for him this year. He's just going to have an offense designed around him, which he needs. So I do think that Justin Fields has a much better year compared to last year.
Yeah. Especially what do you think, Simon? Would you take Justin Fields in Dynasty? Are you taking Justin Fields or maybe some of these other options around him, Deshaun Watson or Kirk Cousins? Which one are you taking?
I'll take Justin Fields. He's got the draft capital. I liked him coming out of college. Like I felt like we were forced to pick sides, Lawrence versus Fields, but I liked both of those guys coming out. I'll take the upside with Fields.
What about Stafford in Dynasty?
Ooh.
Stafford or Fields?
That's a close one.
Probably taking Stafford.
Taking Stafford. Are you taking Stafford as well, Josh?
Yeah. I think I would have Stafford ranked ahead of Justin Fields.
Just what you're going to get from Stafford for the next 2 to 3 years. I feel like on that Rams offense, it's hard to pass up on something like that.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit more guaranteed with Stafford.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Whereas Kirk Cousins also fairly guaranteed, but I view him as like a tier below. So it's worth that risk on the upside of a Justin Fields. Whereas like Stafford, it's not worth that risk because what you're getting is already pretty damn great. In my eyes.
In my eyes. Michael D asking, who wins this trade? Tyreek Hill and a 2024 first round rookie pick, or Ayuk 2023 first and a second round rookie pick? Which side of this trade would you guys prefer?
Give me Hill in the first, even though it's a year out.
Josh?
Yeah, we don't know any context about where these draft picks would end up being. I'd much rather have a 2023 first than a 2024 first. That class is getting hyped up, and it's a year earlier, like Simon said. But Tyreek Hill separates himself from Brandon Ayuk so much that it's just, if you're rebuilding, maybe the Ayuk's. No, it's the Tyreek Hill side. You should be able to get more.
Yeah, the way I'm looking at this is you're swapping 2023 for, I don't know which side you are, but either way, if you're looking at the Tyreek Hill side, if you're on that side, you're receiving that side, then you're swapping a 2024 first and a 2023 first, and then you're left with Ayuk in a second for Tyreek Hill. And I don't think I would always stay on the Tyreek Hill side on that.
Oh, God. Craig, take this player so I don't take him. Snipe me so that I have to take him. Okay, thank you, Craig. Now I'll take
He did it. He listened. He did it. Even though
I was going to go another round without a quarterback if Mike Evans was sitting there, but
that's fantastic.
We're going to take Aaron Rodgers with this pick.
By the way, the pick after mine was Tua Tagovailoa. I was considering him instead of Michael Pittman, but I'm just so high on Michael Pittman. I love the guy.
If Tua was there at my pick, he would have been my pick instead of Rodgers.
He would have been your pick.
Sure.
And
over Rodgers. Mike Evans as well. Like if Mike Evans and Tua were sitting there, I would have taken Tua here.
So Simon, Aaron Rodgers, your first QB. What is your strategy here now? Building a team around Aaron Rodgers. Is this? I'm assuming he's a nice holdover. Someone to fill in that spot. In the next couple of years. Are you thinking about this any differently?
I mean, holdover. I haven't seen any signs of him retiring because of age. I've seen signs of him retiring because he's sick of other people's shit or whatever the hell he calls it. But you take that concern out of it, he's probably going to play for another 2-3 years. So I'm cool with it. In the 5th round down here, I get one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL who doesn't look like he's going to retire in the next year or two. I'll take it.
But you're taking Tua over Aaron Rodgers, you said?
Yeah, I'll take Tua over Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
But Derek Carr in the 2nd versus Aaron Rodgers in the 5th, give me Aaron Rodgers in the 5th.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So we got Garrett Wilson going off the board, followed by Terry McLaurin, Jerry Jeudy. A lot of wide receivers here in this little corner going. Treylon Burks. How you guys think about
kind of like ending a tier of wide receiver? Not a tier. There's still really good wide receivers left, but these are really great wide receivers.
How are you guys thinking about drafting these rookie wide receivers in startup drafts this year?
I try not to draft based solely on ceiling. That's where you get excited, is drafting based on ceiling with some of these players. It's still got to be reasonable value. I find myself not drafting as many rookies in the beginning of the draft and taking more late round shots on some of those rookies in less clear situations, just because I can stomach the risk of doing that on like a 10th round pick. But man, I just get nervous in those first like 5 rounds taking rookies.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
I do too. When there's still studs on the board, like it's tough for me to take. Like even, I'm probably gonna get some slack for this, but I think Terry McLaurin is a stud wide receiver that's proved it all in the NFL field.
I agree.
I don't know if there's I understand taking Drake London ahead of him. Even Drake London being the first wide receiver drafted in the NFL draft, I'd rather have guys like Terry McLaurin, Michael Pittman, who's proved it on the field. Even Chris Godwin, I know he's injured. He might not play a large portion of the upcoming season, but when he's on the field, Chris Godwin has proved, even with Jameis Winston, that he is at least a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL, in my opinion.
He's 26. Chris Godwin is.
Yeah. I love Chris Godwin as a talent. I would love in a dynasty league to capitalize on the injury, because he's getting drafted later. If he wasn't injured, he'd be getting drafted up there with I'm pretty confident with at least the Deontay Johnson, at least that high. I would say higher if he wasn't injured.
Yeah. Josh Mason in here saying, I'd go Stafford over Fields too. Future QB drafts could be better maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
And that's a great
true.
point.
Really
There's a lot of really good quarterback talent coming out just next
Only
year.
32
right?
spots. Only 32 spots. That number stays equal, stays constant.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex saying, our resident trade expert saying, is Tyreek equal 23 picks? 2023 picks? Ayuk and 2024 pick are close. Feels fair. I don't hate the Ayuk side and rebuild. There you have it. From Alex.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Twin saying sniped twice.
Sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck. Simon going Josh Jacobs here in the 5th pick of the 6th round.
I'm just looking at my roster, and it is very clearly looking at it. This is a win now team. I'm going for that title year one. That doesn't mean I need to sacrifice future as well. You can find picks that do both, like a DJ Moore's favorite. Jamar Chase is the perfect example in that first spot, right? That's built for the future and win now. But I'm more comfortable taking maybe a back with some wear like Josh Jacobs, because I think he's a RB1 this coming season, a top 12 running back in that Raiders offense. So I'll take that running back in the 6th round.
It doesn't look like the Raiders are going to re-sign him. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option, but in my mind, that just means they're going to use him a lot because they're done with him after the season. So he's going to have a really good season, in my opinion. And that doesn't mean another team's not going to sign him. Another team will sign him next year unless I don't even know what could happen. He could tear his Achilles, but even then, I think a team's going to sign him, maybe not to be their starting running back, but he's going to have an opportunity still next season, even if it's not with the Raiders.
Yeah, you and I have been higher on Josh Jacobs in the past probably couple seasons, Josh, and it feels like the hype's starting to catch up. People are starting to realize Josh Jacobs is talented.
What's wrong with that? Number 8 running back 2 years ago, number 11 PPR running back last year, PPR 21st running back his rookie year. He's been a top 21 running back every year of his career.
Yeah, with really not ideal coaching staff either, not ideal situation.
Yeah, last year that was about that team situation was about as bad as it could have been. Maybe the Jaguars got him beat, but that was a rough coaching situation for them last year.
Yeah, a lot of distractions, a lot going on.
And he still performed. Still got out there and got it done.
Josh going Zach Wilson. Now he's on the clock. We got a question here from Mr. Scamper. Zay Jones or Terrace Marshall? It is Terrace Marshall easily for me.
Zay Jones. I've seen more from Zay Jones on the field than I have from Terrace Marshall. Zay Jones has shown flashes. He was decent at the end of last year, and he's not competing with as many people in Jacksonville. It's Marvin Jones and Christian Kirk. It's Zay Jones for me by quite a bit. I get being on the other side.
That point is exactly why it's not Zay Jones for me, is that we've seen pretty much all we have to see from Zay Jones. For me, it's pretty static. His talent level is not going to surprise us all of a sudden one year. In Dynasty, I'm looking for upside. I'm looking for that guy who everybody is counting out already, but who has the talent. Maybe he's being kept down because of circumstance. Maybe he's being kept down because of just right now, he's just not performing, but who might be able to perform going forward. It's Terrace Marshall for me. Wow. Well.
What? Guys, it looks like we were talking about the ranking earlier with the Baker news coming out. DJ Moore, just how high does that move him? And someone in the chat said there was a particular well-respected, very handsome analyst.
Very handsome
Very handsome analyst.
I'm excited to hear
DJ Moore
this.
at wide receiver 6 after this. That analyst, Heath Cummings, is here to tell us a little bit more about that ranking. Heath Cummings,
what's up?
I heard that when the conversation was going on in the chat, no one was saying well-respected or very handsome at all. There were other adjectives used.
You heard wrong.
Well, you weren't here yet, Heath.
You weren't here yet. It didn't happen. You can't prove it. Definitely not recorded.
What's going on?
How's it going?
Chilling.
Thank you so much for jumping on with us. This is awesome. And that's funny. We were just talking like, man, we got to get Heath on here to defend this.
I was like, I bet you he'll come on if he's not doing anything right now and come defend his point.
I was, let's see, at 2:40, I got on an emergency pod with Azer and Jamie.
Of course.
Of course.
And was in the mid-argument with Adam when it was time for me to go on Kyle Yates' podcast. So I just made my point and then left the studio. So I never heard what he said.
That's perfect.
Did 30 minutes with Kyle Yates. And then I opened my DMs. I was like, oh, hey, let's go over here.
Let's do it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We'll see where I go next.
Yeah.
DJ Moore, wide receiver 6. Can I ask you first, do you know where you had him ranked? Is he moving up because of the Baker Mayfield move?
Oh yeah. He was wide receiver 13. Now I should say, like, and you guys know this, especially if you do any sort of projections, like the difference between wide receiver 7 and 13 in a given year might be like 5 points.
Yeah.
It was not a big deal, but I really think, like, and I know it's really fun to poo-poo on Baker, and it's part of it's his own fault, but the difference between Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold or Kyle Allen is enormous. And Teddy, listen, between the 20s, Teddy's probably pretty close to as good as Baker Mayfield, but Teddy's never thrown touchdowns. One of the most astonishing things, and I didn't realize this until this morning, Adam Azer always makes this point that the Panthers haven't had more than 17 passing touchdowns since 2018. That's true. It's 17, 16, 14, which is insane. But over those 3 years, DJ Moore has accounted for more than a quarter of the Panthers receiving touchdowns. We think of him this guy that can't score touchdowns because he never scores more than 4, and that's
just the
abysmal.
team's not scoring.
He's scoring more than 25% of. What if they score? What if they throw 28 touchdown passes this year?
Right.
That sounds like he's gonna have more than
DJ Moore to the moon, baby. You know that jersey.
I heard you say wide receiver 6, but I'm looking at my projections right now, and I have DJ Moore as wide receiver 14, and that's not including this trade that just happened with Baker Mayfield. So I know he's going to go up. And then what? So that projects him for 240 points. My wide receiver 10 has 256 points.
Yep.
He could easily creep up into my top 10 wide receivers now that I'm thinking about it. It sounded crazy when someone came here and said that he's your wide receiver 6, but it makes sense to me.
Well, and like what generally happens is I get excited and I update these things. And then the fantasy community is going to spend the next month crushing my will and pulling me back towards them. And we will get to August and we're all going to have him at wide receiver 10, 11, or 12.
Yep.
And so there will be no disagreements.
Keep him at 6.
Well, let me ask you. That's why I love you, Heath. You stand by your takes, and but it's not just because you have a take and you're sticking by it and you're stubborn. You have reason to believe the takes that you make, and that's why I love listening to the CBS podcast and hearing you argue with Adam Azer. That's one of my favorite things. So stick to your guns.
Let me ask you this: where can it go wrong for Baker and DJ Moore this season? Like we're kind of projecting like, okay, well, this could happen. Baker is an upgrade here. Where do you think it could go wrong for the Panthers this season?
I think we should clarify what go wrong means, because I don't really believe it could go worse than last year.
That's true.
So like DJ Moore could be just a number 2 wide receiver like he's been for the last 3 years. If the problems the Panthers have in the red zone are not a Sam Darnold, Teddy Bridgewater, or Kyle Allen problem, but it actually is a problem with their weapons, and DJ Moore just can get open everywhere except for there. Or if Ben McAdoo ruins everything, which he's been known to do on occasion. But for the most part, I think like the risk is that DJ Moore falls back into the same place that he's always been, which is still very, very good. And everybody gets to go, you can't score touchdowns.
Right. Oh, that makes sense. Do you think that offensive line is going to be good enough to keep, Baker safe here?
I think it will be not as good as the Browns offensive line has been for sure. But I think a lot of the ways that DJ Moore wins isn't really dependent on, like, it was different 2 years ago when for some reason they decided they were going to make him Robbie Anderson and his ADOT was like 15. Right. But most years he's the short area target anyway. And so he is not too dependent on the offensive line. Kind of like Keenan Allen with the Chargers last year. Like it didn't matter if they could block for Justin Herbert. They were also fast.
Yeah,
and you have Christian McCaffrey in there as well as another quick release target. I'm with you, Heath. I was nervous about Baker going to Seattle. That seemed like a difficult offensive line for him to play behind. I'm a little bit more comfortable with Carolina based on the offensive line should be a little bit better. But then, like you said, it's those short yardage targets that hopefully can get the ball out quick there.
Yeah, the problem with Seattle's bad offensive line is they refuse to do anything to help them at all. Like they have two plays: it's run the ball directly into the offensive line or drop back 15 yards and throw it 30 yards.
Yeah,
which was great for Russell Wilson because he was good at making those plays happen. But
those are the two best plays for him.
Baker has the heart of Russell Wilson, but not the legs or arm of Russell Wilson, and he would have just been murdered behind that offensive line trying to play hero ball.
I didn't think this would ever happen, but I think I'm cheering for Baker now.
Welcome.
I am.
Join all Browns fans in continuing to hope that Baker has success elsewhere. Just like, sorry, man, they did you dirty.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got to cheer for him now, so that conditional 5th round pick will convey.
Jesus, and that'll save the franchise. Actually, that's what the Browns need to turn everything around. A conditional 5th round pick should do it right there.
Awesome.
Man, thank you so much. You got a mock draft going on?
We got a mock draft going on. Yep.
Oh yeah. That's what we're doing.
Simon and Josh are drafting here. Superflex Dynasty Mock Draft.
Obviously.
Where did DJ Moore go?
To my team.
Simon.
In the fourth round. Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore, and Travis Kelce to start that off. It is Superflex, but I think it worked out all right.
Yeah, I love it.
Worked out.
Definitely. Thanks for joining us, Heath.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Really appreciate you coming on and defending your point.
I was going to move DJ Moore up a couple spots, but I'm thinking I might need to dig in a little bit more now, Keith. He was moving ahead of like Marquise Brown and or some of the other names, Jerry Jeudy, Brandon Cooks for me, but he's probably more in that like Deontay Johnson, Michael Pittman range. But I got to look into it a little bit more. I love your instant hot take. You don't care what people are going to say. And it's really, once you get on here and explain it's not that hot. It makes sense. It checks out with what he's done and what he's getting.
That's going to be, I'm adding that to my Twitter profile. Reasonable hot takes.
Reasonable hot takes. That's it. It's the Heath Cummings brand.
They said Simon is going to have Moore at wide receiver 1. I don't know if you know this. DJ Moore is one of my favorite players in the NFL. I love him. So all the excuse I need is probably Heath Cummings coming on and explaining why he's your wide receiver 6. Now I've been justified in moving him up.
Scott Fish saying, Heath, get off my show, Crashing Corner.
Yeah, this is usually Scott's job to come in and crash.
He said, kidding. I love you. Are you ready for Scott Fishbowl starting off this week, Heath?
Yeah, my internet just crapped out and I didn't hear anything you said. So
good. It was so mean. We really went on a tangent there, just saying.
Am I ready for what starting this week?
The Scott Fishbowl.
I am super excited about the Scott Fishbowl. I'm not very excited about the Scott Fish man currently because
none of us are.
He's obviously not excited about you.
No, I've got pick 12. I wish I could have the team that I mock drafted because I took Baker Mayfield in like round 14. But that's probably not going to get him there now. But no, I've got pick 12. Hopefully I get one quarterback at that first turn. And I've made the playoffs a couple times, but I've never really gotten very close to winning this thing.
I made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this year. I made the playoffs last season. I'm hoping this is my season. Debo really carried me into the playoffs, but I'm hoping this is my season. I'm feeling it this time. I'm drafting Hawaii. I feel like that's going to be my good luck item here. So we'll see.
I would like to also draft in Hawaii. Is that
league
still open?
Come on over. Yeah, totally. Come on over.
Okay.
Just throw me in your bag.
Every time when you said that at first, JL, I thought you meant like you were doing like live draft in Hawaii.
I wish.
Not right,
we tried
today,
to get one going.
it does kind of almost sound like you're setting up this live draft in Hawaii and you're ready to go, and that would be pretty awesome.
No.
Heath, Scott in here, if you've got time to answer another question, Scott wanted to know, do you think Baker is a top 15 quarterback with moving over to the Panthers?
No. Not at all. Not in fantasy for sure.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know that it's that outlandish to think that things could go right and he could finish as a top 15 quarterback. Like Carson Wentz was almost a top 15 quarterback last year, right?
Yeah.
I don't have any reason to believe that Baker Mayfield's significantly worse than Carson Wentz.
I think Baker's a little bit, and maybe this is just the Browns' run first offense talking a little bit. I think he's a little bit safer, or I don't want to say smarter, but Carson Wentz is willing to take the shot deep or make decisions that are a little bit questionable. But just like we saw what Jameis Winston was on the Bucs, if he's just airing the ball out and trying to make plays happen, a lot of times that can help you in fantasy football. So if the Carolina Panthers really decide to let Baker just run with it and run this offense and be the guy, yeah, I could absolutely see him being a top 15 quarterback.
I did have somebody ask me on Twitter when I was talking about how high I'd ranked DJ Moore. Well, then why didn't Odell Beckham have success with him? And maybe this is a hot take, but like we all agree DJ Moore is now better than Odell Beckham, right? Like he's not as good as Odell Beckham was, but that Odell Beckham doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think DJ Moore's just better suited for Baker Mayfield's play style. Maybe Odell Beckham, he wanted all the targets, I think. And I think there was some psychological things going on there, maybe. So I won't get into psychology of NFL play.
It's an oversimplification, right? That you could just plug a player in and everything else is going to stay constant, when that's not how reality is, or how reality works, right? It's their personalities, their people. Sometimes they don't mesh well. Sometimes their strengths and weaknesses aren't very complementary. So I don't think you can necessarily make that argument.
Yeah,
man.
All right, guys. I think Scott said one too many mean things about me in the chat, and so
continue the propaganda campaign here for
start the Heath Cummings Bowl.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to be even nicer than he is.
3 points per DJ Moore in the Heath Cummings Bowl. You automatically start with 3 extra points each week.
Points per DJ Moore.
Heath, thank you so much for coming on today. That was awesome. Yeah. Appreciate you taking the time, man.
Always fun, guys. Take care.
I see you.
Same to you. Bye.
Heath.
That guy's pretty cool.
He's pretty cool.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like him. We should keep him around.
Okay. All right, we'll try.
Maybe we'll let him come on the show some other time. Come in the future.
Guys, 69.
Already.
What's up?
Nice, dude.
Dustin wants to know, is it a given that Baker is the starter, or is it an open competition?
I don't think it's much of a competition. If it is, it'll be over quick.
I think Baker's gotten that
I think he's just a much better quarterback than anybody else on that roster. They can say it's an open competition, but if it's not because of injury or something, if anybody else is starting for the Panthers week 1, I would be shocked. Absolutely shocked if it's not Baker.
Scott saying, because of Scott Fish, my home league has decided to donate one of our entry fees to a charity of our choosing at the draft this year. This is one of my favorite things that Scott Fish espouses is take some of your winnings every year and donate a portion to charity. It's like so easy. It's like completely seamless, and you do good. Use fantasy for good.
It's awesome. Do good.
Yeah. Be Superman. Do good.
Hey,
what charity are you guys going to donate to?
Just by the way, I don't want to get sniped. Just putting that in the universe.
Sniped.
No snipe. No snipe.
I like that you did the.
I think that's the opposite of how I'm supposed to think about them. I think I'm supposed to think of just get that player. Instead, I'm putting snipe into the universe, and now I'm probably gonna get sniped.
Now you're definitely gonna get sniped.
Let's see how that happens.
So we have a few rounds pass here.
Don't worry about the position because I feel like there's a couple people. There he goes. I wanted Kadarius Toney.
Kadarius Toney, Bro Cow. I feel like Bro Cow is low key just been sniping us for weeks.
Yeah. He's keeping tabs on who we like. He's like,
oh
man, I really wanted Kadarius Toney here. I think he has so much upside. He's my favorite New York Giants wide receiver going into this upcoming season. If he hits, he's going to hit big. If he doesn't hit, it's a 11th round pick that I'm more than willing to take my shot on a guy like Kadarius Toney on.
Yeah, if he misses, he's going to miss little because it doesn't really matter that much.
11th round pick, right?
Jay saying, can Heath come back, or are we stuck with you 3? You're stuck with us 3. Suck it up.
Heath, come back, please. I miss you. I do miss him already.
Josh on the clock.
Coming out just threw such an insult at you, JL, saying you're the baseball kid from Meet the Robinsons. I don't know if you know what he looks like. He's so droopy and sad. He looks so tired all the time.
That sounds like me, droopy.
He's just little and sad and droopy, tired.
Thanks, come here now. What was I saying? Simon, I was talking to you. You went Tom Brady. Your QB2 here in the 7th round. You got probably the oldest QB core here.
Oh, without a doubt, I have the
probably.
Probably.
I don't think you could build an older QB core. Like, are they the two oldest quarterbacks in the league?
Matt Ryan.
Is Matt Ryan older than Aaron Rodgers?
Still in the league?
No, Aaron Rodgers is older than Matt Ryan. No, those are the two oldest starting quarterbacks in the league. I'm pretty sure.
Andrew Whitworth, I think, is still active, and he's 40.
He's a quarterback.
He's definitely a quarterback.
Yeah. And then Simon just continues to build this, like, let's go for that title shot kind of team.
Yeah.
Well, in the 11th round, the guy who's projected to be the starting running back for a team, with the way I have my team built right now, that makes sense. Roll out Josh Jacobs and CPAT, then fill out my flex with Mike Williams and one of those other RBs or something later. It's awesome. I'm happy with it.
I'm about it. I like it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Josh getting your first tight end with Cole Kmet here in the 11th round. I like that. Were you tempted to go tight end before?
I was tempted to go tight end quite a few times. I was tempted to take I was looking at TJ Hawkinson when I drafted Zach Wilson there, but I wouldn't say it was a snipe. I probably would have went Zach Wilson. I probably would have gone Dalton Schultz in the 8th round instead of Clyde Edwards-Helaire if he was still there. So I guess that's a little bit of a snipe. But outside of that, I guess I considered for a split second taking Dallas Goedert, where I took Brandon Cooks, but it just felt like a little bit of I'm not going to say a reach. It's just like with Dalton Schultz going off the board less than a round before him, I just didn't like the value I was getting there. So this was the first time in this draft where I was like, okay, someone kind of fell into my lap here. And I love Cole Kmet for Dynasty, especially. He's a 23-year-old tight end. He's going into his third season now. And that's typically what we're looking for tight ends. And when I'm looking for a breakout tight end, I want him to be one of the top 2 pass catchers for his team. The Bears have Darnell Mooney.
They're doing.
Then who do they have? They have
Z2, you mother trucking skunk. Those were the 2 guys I wanted. One of the 2.
Robert Woods and Alan Lazard.
I was going to take one of those 2 guys.
Either one of those guys with my next pick too. So I'm with you. I think that those were great picks. George Pickens is also a good pick. I like there. Calvin Ridley, if you're willing to sit on him for a year, why not? He'll be a little bit older. Will be 28 next year?
I think
when he's able to play.
28 or 27.
Yeah, I think he's 27 now. So, I like it. It's just kind of sitting on a guy. But in the 12th round, you can't really blame anyone for taking Calvin Ridley there.
Right. It's 27 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
27 and a half right now.
Now Simon's tilting. I can hear him huffing and puffing down there. You just really think there's like kind of a tier break of wide receiver? I mean,
there's one guy. There's 2 guys left that I'm looking at that would be great for the build that I'm doing. But I was hoping to get one of those 2 guys.
Yeah. Okay. I think I know exactly the 2 guys you're talking about. There's probably one specifically.
There's a couple other close for me to those 2 guys, but man, well, that helps make that decision.
Yeah. There you go.
And Scott asking, do you guys think Cam Akers is going to return value this year? This is going to depend on where he's being drafted.
Yeah. It's a big part of returning value, right?
Yeah, big part of returning value. I don't have his ADP pulled up. Let me pull it up.
I currently have Cam Akers projected to be my 18th overall running back. All right. So I guess if he's being drafted ahead of that, then that's kind of direct.
43.8 is his best ball ADP.
And that'd be overall. That seems high, but that's best ball. So that's a little bit, in best ball, I think he has so much upside week to week that I like him better in best ball than a normal redraft league, actually, believe it or not.
I've got him outside my top 24, and I know that sounds like ridiculous, but the guys that he's near, it kind of makes sense. Like Breece Hall, AJ Dillon, Miles Sanders, Elijah Mitchell, like those are the guys directly ahead of him. That's not saying he's bad, but he's in that like 25 to 28 range for me, Cam Akers. So I'm likely not drafting much of him.
I just pulled up his redraft ADP. He's 22nd, RB22, going off the board in redraft.
Okay,
behind
so
Josh Jacobs.
That's not too bad. That's around where I have him, but I would so 22. Prefer Jacobs.
ETN's 23.
Oh, give me ETN.
Yeah, I'm completely fine. I would take Cam Akers ahead of ETN, but I like ETN. I like ETN too. I just it's the situation for Cam Akers compared to the situation to ETN, and there's going to be a lot more touchdown upside for Cam Akers compared to ETN.
Akers or Dobbins?
Dobbins. I have Dobbins
for me as well.
Dobbins for sure.
Oh shoot! I would draft Dobbins out of Akers, but my projections have Dobbins with 1.5 point less than Cam Akers currently.
Gotcha.
Where he said, I like to watch the first few minutes of the show and the last few minutes of the show and see if I can guess what happened in between.
Well,
we like that
this
too.
This board might help you a little bit, Maria.
Yeah.
This big section in the middle here.
Who surprised us by coming on the show?
There was Simon.
Not for you, Josh.
It was the baseball kid from Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah,
made a live appearance on the show.
Commentated on the draft.
Man, the best part about finishing a mock draft is even when I have the sounds turned off, at the very end, it goes, "Ooh," just in my ears at the top of its lungs.
I was considering Rashad Penny, who was the last person drafted there. I think that's a good pick as your last pick.
That is a good pick.
I like that.
That is a great pick.
Good draft, guys. Good job.
Yeah, that was a fun draft. That was a very fun draft.
Good job, everyone. Good job, everyone. I like my team. I really do.
I like my team.
I like my team. My team's
sure
looking
you
pretty
do,
great.
Mm-hmm.
And
your non-existent team.
And J-Wall drafted only people younger than him. I think he was feeling self-conscious, so he drafted all of the rookies so that he could just have the youngest team in the block. It's just nonstop rookies over there. But guys, we'll dig in a little bit more to how this mock draft went. That is going to be it for us this afternoon. Everybody who joined us, drafted with us, hung out in the chat while we drafted. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow is a triple FYF day, so get ready. We're going to have our normal 3 p.m. Eastern time show that we do every day playing games. Then at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we will be live for Fantasy Football Pub Trivia, so get those trivia brains ready. Get that Sporkle Party app downloaded and come ready to play. And then right after that, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, we will be live for another Scott Fish Bowl mock draft. So we'll be doing that right after that. So triple FYF tomorrow. Get ready. Get your rest in. Make sure that you guys can be ready for that. And then, Josh, was there anything you wanted to add? You look like you have some more.
Trading makes fantasy fun. We couldn't trade in this mock draft, but I'd be trading all over the place if this was a real draft. Draft day trading is my favorite kind of trade.
Guys, there is one more reminder that I need to get out. Make sure everyone's aware of. Jay and I will be live on the Podathon, the Scott Fishbowl Podathon this Saturday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. I believe it's a 30-minute time slot. So you're going to get more FYF this weekend. It's just nonstop this week. There's tons of us. So if you don't get sick of us, come hang out with us on Saturday. It'll be me and Jay.
I'll be in the chat, probably.
Let's do it.
Guys, try my best.
That's going to be it for today. We will be back tomorrow. Until then, adios, everybody.
Bye-bye. We love you.
Peace out.
Yep.
Hold it.